Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the In the Psychic Flow Show with Carolan Carey.
Hey everyone, good evening. Thank you for joining us here in the Psychic Flow. Let me turn my volume down because we were chatting and I didn't do that. Let me just put that at 50. And let's see, there I am. And I hope you notice I'm a little bit taller. I'm sitting on a pillow tonight, so let me know if that works for you or not. Maybe you want to see less of me and not more of me. Let me know in the comments. Just kidding. We have an amazing show tonight. Now, last week we had the wonderful, stupendous Jane Doherty with us from New Jersey, South Plainfield, New Jersey. And a few people made contributions toward the show and they did not get a reading. So I'm going to try to do those for people. I wrote them down. I'm going to do them brief so that you get something. So I want to appreciate your donations towards the show. And in the meantime, anyone on here, because we have the super psychic Joanne Leo with us tonight. And so bombs away here, ladies and gentlemen, with Joanne Leo, who does not hold back. She's going to need your date of birth and your birth name to read your blueprint in heaven. And we'll just go into a brief description about that. But in the meantime, I'm going to give her, if you want a reading with her, please give me your date of birth. And I will give her those so she can work on that while I'm giving those quick readings from those people from last week. My producer tells us we are growing, so we can't always get to everyone. So the way the show hosts have kind of worked it out is that we try to read our super sticker people first. And I mean, you could do $1.99. It doesn't have to be a lot, and you don't have to do that at all. Actually, I just can't guarantee a reading that show. But, you can come back the next week. It's okay. Or you can book with our guests. Psychic Joanne Leo's website is psychicjoanneleo.com, and I know you're going to want to check that out. Joanne is a frequent flyer on In the Psychic Flow. We are delighted to have her. This is a six-figure corporate exec who changed her life plan there and went into life coaching, tarot with a twist, readings from the heart, psychic numerology, and all of the above, and bombs away on these readings. It's the best reading you will ever have in your life, because it's unique and tailored to you. With that, Joanne, welcome.
Welcome. I am happy to be here tonight.
We're very happy to have you. And I'm going to give you some people with dates of birth. So if you would like a reading with Joanne, please put your date of birth on there and your real name, because some people use a handle on here.
Right.
So let me give you what I have. I have Jill Sheen.
Okay.
8/22/63.
Okay.
Jill, you're doing double stickers. What's going on with you, dear? Let me see who else I have for you. Hi, Richard. Hi, Julie. I have you. I'm going to give you a little message. If you'd like a message from Joanne later in the show, please put your date of birth on there. Date of birth. Let me just look quick. Oh, here. Julie is Julianne, Juli. Separate name, Ann, ANN.
Yeah.
3/31/63.
Got it.
Oh, Elizabeth, thank you very much. Said, love your hair, Carolan. Yay, Joanne Leo is here. Love from Elizabeth in Sarasota.
All right.
6/12/70.
6/12/7. That's Elizabeth, right?
Great. I have Mr. Richard Riddle with us this evening.
Richard. Okay.
9/11/71.
Okay.
Okay. So, Jill, I have double stickers on here. I don't know what that means. So, Tiffany will have to see if you contributed twice, because I had two from last week as well, if she could check that out. Okay. Do I have any new comments? And then I'm going to start reading these people if they're on here. Julie's one of them. So I'm going to give her a little message from the spirit world.
I'm going to work on my messages.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll be as concise as possible. No, one is from Julie and one is from Jill. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, and I have Ruth. You want another one?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep working while you're doing your thing.
Great. Ruth Ann 4463.
Okay.
And Ruth is one of our delightful show hosts.
Okay.
Here we go. Inspirational Soul. I know I'm going to mess these names up. And an author. She is an author. Just finished her second book. Okay, so here we are. It's very nice to have the other show hosts on here. It's very supportive. Okay, so here I go. Julie. While Joanne is working on those readings for those people, you know, I get an older gentleman in spirit, Julie. I hope you're familiar with the way I read a little bit. I think you're a friend of Jill Sheen's. Thank you for joining in the Psychic Flow. I have an older gentleman. Maybe he's come in before. I feel, excuse me, very wintry, fall, piney scent with this gentleman. I think this is a grandfather. And I knew I should have taken my Mucinex because now I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. I'm getting that pine scent. This time he has a lady with him, Julie. So I believe these would be grandparents. I feel like I want to say dad's side of the family. Please let me know if I'm in the comments, if I'm for real or not. If you have grandparents on dad's side that have passed, I feel this older gentleman, I feel doesn't have a lot of hair on his head. And I feel because he's kind of rubbing his head like he used to have more hair. I get the word military. So I don't know if he was in the service at all, but I get a feeling of military service in the family. And this gentleman, I feel very pine. I feel very fishing lake kind of feeling. I'm relaxing. I have a heavy, like kind of not tweed, but a wool, not heavy, but a wool jacket. You know, they're like shirts, but you put them on over like a t-shirt or something. And he kind of is sitting in a rowboat, just enjoying life. But there's a lovely lady who I see fried eggs in a cast iron pan there. And I just want to let you know that this couple is around you in spirit quite often. And they are talking about, and they're talking about a dog too. So I don't know if you have a dog in spirit or they had a dog in spirit, but they were talking about a dog here. And the tail, it looks like almost the size of a golden retriever. It's and the tail is kind of shaking the water off from the rain or the lake. And they just want to let you know that they are around. And I'm also being led to something about stones, either a necklace with a stone or something about stones. So I don't know if that's something that you enjoy or that you have, but they're talking about I'm being shown something about stones. So I don't know if this was an heirloom or what, or an interest in stones. But they're saying to you, you know, take your steps. I feel moving forward, and they're talking about between 2021, 2022. This is a good period of time for you, Julie. So I hope you will understand the message that I'm giving you. They're also saying drive safe and like step evenly. Don't be like hopping from here to there. Just take it easy. Put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to make this. And I get something about medical. So I don't know if you're in the medical field or there's a medical concern. But they have you in a very beautiful, loving embrace. So I'm going to leave that with you. Carol was here last week. Carol's very new to the show, too, the last few weeks, or month or so, I should say. Delightful gal. I kept trying to give her Parisian things. Poor thing. I was trying to shove that at her, and it wasn't her at all. It was somebody's dog, Chanel. Sometimes that happens. Carol, I want to speak about, I think I have your lovely father here, and I think both parents are passed, if I recall. And I have your lovely dad here, who's, I feel very 50s, 60s music with him. And I feel like kind of a sly devil. Your mother said he's kind of a sly devil because he's a good looking man. And he kind of knew it. And I get the impression with dad, I have a very generous gentleman, and I feel he has a good personality. and but he does apologize to you. He has an apology to you. And he's saying to you, I'm sorry I had to let go of your hand. So I don't know if you were holding his hand, Carol, when he passed, but he wants to let you know that he was aware that you were there or that you were praying for him. They surround you in the spirit world, and I'm being shown this old lamp. I think it's one of those gas lanterns. They're very popular, made a comeback for a while. Very Victorian glass lamp, you know what I mean? With like a hurricane lamp, but very ornate with like a pink rose or something. Remember those? They're quite popular. And a brass bottom to it. So they're showing me. So I don't know if this would be grandma's house or what, taking you there. And I also get, he's also showing me he's saying something about Sandy Hook. So I don't know if you're familiar with Sandy Hook, New Jersey, but I'm getting that saltwater taffy from Jersey Shore. And I'm sure they have it other places too, like Ocean City, Maryland, that kind of thing. So I don't know if you would remember that, but that's what he's giving to you. And the message is savor the sweetness, of life. We don't often get a savory, sweet chunk of life to chew on. So I'm kind of messing up that interpretation of the lovely message he's giving, but he wants you to savor the good times. Okay. So that took care of my Julie and Carol. Anna is a frequent flyer on this show. And she is a COVID survivor and long hauler. Ooh, I don't know who that is. Okay. That would be mom's dad. Okay, it would be mom's dad. I said dad's dad. It was mom's dad. Okay. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that, Julie. For those of you who are listening and not reading the comments, because you can't, I just want to let you know that I will read validation when I get it for both of us, Joanne, Leo, and myself. Anna, I have this wacky aunt who I really enjoy very much. I don't think Anna's with us tonight, but she was with us last week and she can watch on the replay. Just want to let her know that this lovely wacky aunt who keeps doing the Watusi, your father and uncle, your father and a gentleman friend are talking about your aunt doing the Watusi. And she really had those crop pants. And she showed me like a checked black, those crop pedal pushers, I guess they would call them. And a black sleeveless turtleneck knit top that was popular at the time. And she looks really quite good. And she's got some bangles on and little flash. And she's helping your mother a little bit. I think she's supposed to be helping your mother set up, but she's really not. She's having a couple of cocktails and eating a couple of things off the hors d'oeuvre table and loading up the stereo, the old-fashioned stereo with some LPs. And she's doing the Watusi. And she's like, Anna, life is short. Dance the dance, walk the walk. Don't sweat it too much. Enjoy yourself. So I wanted to leave that message with you. And Jill, I just want to let you know that your father has a couple of people in spirit with him that he says, and they're singing Roll Out the Barrel. I don't know why I'm getting that, Jill. Roll out the barrel. But that's what they're singing, Roll Out the Barrel. I don't know what the time frame is on that. What's that, 30s, 40s? They're having a good time over there. And I feel like something about trains. So I don't know if somebody was a conductor, somebody did a lot of train travel, but something with Dad, and he's talking about that. He also mentions the name Agnes, and I don't know why I'm getting that. I think it's Agnes. Anna, Agnes? I think it's Agnes. And he says, Jill, you worry too much. And when you let God, he says, see what happens when we let God, we can try to do anything we want to do. But when we let God, look what happens. And I know you recently fell into a situation. We kept telling you it's going to work out. Things are going to be better for you. And you asked, am I going to get this job and that job and this job? Pardon me. It wasn't meant to be. You were meant to be able to stay in this situation and work from home. So God bless you, Jill. I want to thank you very much, all of you that contributed last week's show. Usually when I have a guest that is an author or I will warn you, people like Joanne Leo, Kelly Joe Psychic, these people do readings all the time. Psychic Jane Doherty, I didn't ask her on the show for that. So I'll have to figure out a code word or something so that you're not expecting a reading and don't get one. But you're going to get plenty of readings tonight. Joanne, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to start with Jill. I've got it all in order here.
Okay.
And but I want to preface something because I always bring stuff to the show. Okay. So we're in Leo right now. Okay.
Oh,
And
yes.
we're going through this full moon, but we're also I'm not an astrologer, but I do listen to a few of them that I truly respect. And we're going into the cycle of this Lion's Gate. And so it's a very powerful cycle from what I understand. And numerology wise, I know that the sign of Leo is authority and it's strong. And you think about a lion represents, the king of the jungle. It represents authority, it represents strength and all that kind of good stuff. So, and if you think about 8, so I want to kind of give everybody a little bit of something to think about here, okay? If you think about the symbol of 8, it goes around and then it comes up. It's very interesting if you take a piece of paper unconsciously, okay? I don't want you to do it now because you're going to be conscious. Is your 8 closed or is it open? You see? And 8 also represents money and success and all that kind of good stuff. So is it closed or is it open? And as you go through, like even nonchalantly, you can pay attention to your 8s at different conjunctures to see what you're doing with your own authority, your own personal authority. Also, I took, because I was impressed tonight, with all this stuff going on, there's all kinds of tension going on now. Of course, that goes along with this Lion Gate cycle. And I pulled the St. Michael the Archangel card of what theme I want to express tonight. And I let go of fear now. If we live in fear, we attract exactly what we don't want. So what is the opposite of fear? Faith. So now's the time for us to pray, have faith, practice humanity, practice brotherly love, love thy neighbor. That comes along with the commandments. Okay. So let go of fear. I thought that was a great card for tonight. And the message is, Archangel Michael, please help me feel safe and deserving of your guidance. And thank you for clearing heavy, toxic, or ego-based thoughts or feelings. No judgment. And if you think about 8, it also represents the courts. And it also represents the judge. So I'm giving you lots of things to think about on this month of August. So tonight, what I did is I took your birth date and I'm looking at your personal month. So this is going to be a month peeking at your month. So Jill, right now, anything that's got to do with writing, with any kind of contract, any kind of letter, any kind of response that you give, you really have to pay attention. Okay? Are you with me? Yeah. Carolan, are you there? Okay,
yes.
Good. And it has to do with family members. So I don't know if this is something to do with if you're going to give a loan or whatever, or you're making a loan or whatever. Let's check over everything, Jill, in the documents. I feel like you're going to, in the 3rd week, though, you're going to get some really good news as far as something that you've been waiting to get in order or to make sense of or to make the plan work. Okay. And then the last week is going to have to do with some family issues. I don't know if it's a brother or a sister, a niece, a nephew, or one of your children, but it's definitely something that's going to require everybody owning up to whatever they got to do, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and also loving one another. I think is really going to be important. So no speeding, because you will get a ticket. No drinking and driving. That goes for family members as well that live under your roof. This is a time for no combat. Okay. all we want to talk about this month is balance. Okay. What's going to make sense and what's going to be balanced. Okay. Next, I got Julianne.
Yes.
Okay. And another thing with my J girls, the Jill and the Julie, because remember, I'm a Joanne. And you think about the J's always going to resonate throughout our lives. We're sensitive people. We're strong, but we take on a lot of stuff. And the biggest thing I can say to my J girls, and it's a hard one because I have to, work on myself constantly, is not take things personally or live in the past, okay? Because we're sensitive. Julie, this month, it's kind of like listen to your intuition and your gut feeling because you won't be wrong. And also, too, it's all about balance and emotional balance. So really kind of pay attention to who you're going to let disrupt you or affect your balance or whatever. I feel like there's either a letter or a phone call or an email or something in the third week of August that's going to be pretty significant, or something that, is going to, that you've been waiting for, or to resolve something that you needed to resolve. The last week, I want you to hold yourself together here. Don't lose your temper and don't let somebody push your buttons, okay? That's very, very important this last week of August. So it's about, taking a deep breath. And I always love what I want to say to you, Julie, is when somebody gets on my last nerve, I'll say, you know what, let me think about it. Let me get back to you on that. Because I don't want to get into the drama. Do you understand? I don't want to get pulled into that cycle. And you have to be a really good crossing guard. I think I've taught you guys that over the months that we work together. What does a crossing guard do? They got the stop sign in their hand. And what does that stop sign represent? It represents direction, saving people's lives, avoiding danger. Well, it's the same thing in your personal life. You have to be a good crossing guard. It's called boundaries as well. And it's also where you can also stop yourself from getting into the drama. Does that make sense, everybody? I think so, right? Okay, next I got Elizabeth.
Can I give you a couple more people to add to your list?
Yeah, because I've got Elizabeth, Richard, and Ruth Ann coming up. Okay.
I have, let me add Gina, Jina.
J or G?
G, sorry.
Okay.
That is July 23.
Okay.
And I thought I saw another one on here.
Okay.
Goodness gracious is Anita, and Anita's INITA, and she is 410.
Okay. No, just for the record of people.
And let me just give you a couple of little feedbacks here quick. I was reading Julie, and I was Jill, and I was getting Julie. I got Julie's family. She had someone in her family. Julie and her grandpa would sing "Roll Out the Barrel," and Agnes was her great grandma. So I was trying to read Jill Sheen, but I was getting Julie's people. So I apologize for that. Sometimes that happens. Jill had said everybody's saying spot on, and thank you. And Julie said her stepmom is Joanne.
Oh,
and so they just wanted to share that what's going on here. So I won't interrupt you again. Go ahead.
No problem. Okay, so for people that are jumping in here that are new to our show, I think the most important thing to realize here is what I do, and your soul is connected directly to heaven. Your name and your birth date is how you're registered in heaven. So it doesn't matter how many times your name has changed or whatever. It's your original name on your birth certificate, how you're registered in heaven. Okay. It's a blueprint, and when you get a full chart done, it gives you the whole big picture of who you are, what you came here, what are your karmic lessons. It's also very predictive on future, and that's why every month I use your birth date, and then I get into what's going on for the year and the month so that you can get an accurate reading. Okay, so Elizabeth, I think I've talked to Elizabeth before, and the interesting thing is in her original birth date, she's very sensitive. She's got to be careful about being the fixer. I can tell you that. So, but she's also very sensitive. But this month or this year is kind of like flying by the seat of your pants. It's like flexible. It's got to become your middle name, because there's a lot of either relationships or situations or problems that are going to come up that you've got to use your God-given sense and not let people operate or pull you into the guilt mode to do things. So the month of August is where you really need to use your power. This is where, you don't say yes when you really mean no. There's a lot of ways to say no. This for you, Elizabeth, is not at this time. I'll take a rain check. I'll have to think about it and get back to you on it. There's a lot of ways to say no, but you can't be all things to all people. There's some very interesting things coming up in the third week of August for you. And it's decisions to make, or where you're going to really have to sort things through. Good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. And then I feel like the last week there'll be a wrap on some things, or wrapping up or closure of resolution to anything that you've been working on. This is a powerful month. The thing is don't let other people rain on your parade or force you into doing something when you really don't want to do it. Okay? So that's Elizabeth. And then I have Richard.
Can I just ask you something, Joanne?
Yes.
When you're doing the weeks, you're doing a wonderful forecast for the month. I really love this. How do you know which week it goes to?
Because when I do my calculations, I have to do a couple different things. So it was good that you were doing things, because I had to do their original birth date. Then I had to figure out the personal year for them.
Oh, I see.
And then I had to take it to the month of August, which comes out to a different compilation. So when I do the pinnacles, okay, it represents each week. So when I do the personal month, I can see where the week is. So that's the cool thing about numerology, because it's very zeroes in on exactly where I want to go or what I need to find.
Yes, it's quite precise. It's wonderful. These readings are wonderful. Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead, please.
No problem. Okay. Mr. Richard. Okay.
Yes.
Now, this whole year is kind of like where he's got to be in balance. Richard, you got to be in balance. You can't be pulled in one direction, go in the other direction. But for the month of August, it's kind of like nurturing yourself, but it'll have to do with people who either are family or you consider like family, friends. A lot of times friends, like Carolan. I mean, she's like my sister from another mother. So, and we understand each other because we can agree to disagree and still love each other through it. Those are people that are better than blood, in my opinion. But that's, right, Carolan?
Yes, we disagree on a lot, but we're closer than we were when we first met.
I mean, we can agree to disagree. We still love each other through it. It's hysterical, but it's true. Okay, so that's the point I'm trying to make to you, Richard, is that, there are people that will come into your life that are like family, okay? Or that you think of them like family or whatever. But what I'm trying to say here in the month of August, you have to be judicious. And the second week of August, you really need to keep your temperament about yourself, or not let somebody really hurt your feelings or where you lose your cool. But I do feel that the third week, it's kind of like things smooth out. Okay. And the last week of August will be about you making some some decisions. I don't know if it's that you're changing something where you live, or, I mean, you could even be moving furniture around for that matter. But the most important thing of your lesson for the month of August is don't be rigid. Don't have blinders on your eyes and cotton in your ears. What else is possible is what I want you to think about, okay? What's the big picture? What else is possible, okay? And next is our Ruth Ann. And, what I love about Ruth Ann, she's very, very sensitive, but she's also got the mark of the writer in her first name, but she's got sizzle, so she can really get her point across. And she's kind of really quick-witted too. But let's look at her August, and it's about, I don't know if she's working on a project or she's thinking about, putting together, some sort of diagram of what she's either going to teach, write, something, okay? But it's really good to do it in the month of August because it really kind of gives you the gasoline. It really kind of gives you the punch to put things into action because it's an authority number. So the month of August for her is all about communication, writing, speaking. I don't know if she's doing classes or whatever, but she may want to tailor a program or a podcast, take it apart by chapters. I don't know, but to get her lessons across of what she's trying to teach. There's also something at the end of August, and I want, this is very important because it involves any kind of contracts, legal papers, agreements, or whatever. Everything has to be in writing for you, Ruth. No handshakes. Don't let people take advantage of you either. And I really feel like the end of August, it definitely has to do with something. Even if you meant buying an extended warranty, do it. Okay, because it definitely has to do with legal. Okay. Now we have Gina, which I didn't do Gina's numbers. And let's see, she's 5, 3, 8. So this month, she's really got to be very much aware of anything right, wrong, legal. It also has to do with agreements, and that goes for Ruth too. When I get this number, it's a karmic number, so it's saying pay attention. Here we go. No drinking, no driving, no speeding, especially the whole month of August, but the first week is critical. Let's see here. And then there's something in the third week of August, Gina, where you have to make some serious, but it's really a powerful number. It's kind of like a gift from God. So you have some decisions to make, and it has to do either with a work or a home situation. And the last week is going to have to do with family or a relationship issue where you have to have an open mind and you have to not dig your heels in. So whether that's friend or even an intimate relationship. All right, the next one we got is Anita. And Anita, let's see. Anita, the last year and a half hasn't been your easiest rodeo. But you're in the month of August. This is kind of like putting a wrap. So if you've been concerned about, something working out, whether it's a job or things to do within relationships, and that can, go to many different categories. That is the first week of August. So that's what we're at right now. But then things really start getting good because it's really kind of like where you really come into your own and you really use your own God-given sense of the second and the third week. And it also has to do with either a money situation or somewhere where you're taking authority or coming clear on what you learned in the last year, year and a half, because that's really God's way of clearing and lessons learned when we go through that 9-year cycle. So you're through that, and that's a good thing. So now we're going to get into you being true to yourself. Put that on your refrigerator. When I pick up on you, because you're strong, and a lot of people take advantage of you because you're sensitive, and you've got to be more aware than the average bear that they're not putting stuff on your plate. This is not a buffet, okay? So, learn to say no, and there's a lot of ways to do that. I teach that all the time. Every time I'm on Carolan's, not at this time. I'll take a rain check. No, that's not something I'd be interested in at this time. Take your own authority back. Take your power back, okay? And so I'm caught up. What else you got, Carol?
You're caught up. Oh, I have Melissa Parks.
Okay.
Let me get her birthday. She is joining us from Rumble. We are also available on Rumble, people. So you can give us a plus sign or a thumbs up on there as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can give us a thumbs up, a like, and ring the bell to subscribe. You'll know when we are on. Let me see. Where's Melissa Parks? 1 second here.
Okay.
We got Anita, right? Yeah, we got her. And I have some feedback that I will read out when we...
Oh, that would be great. That would be great because I can't see anything here. So,
okay. Where is Melissa? Hi. I just saw it. Bear with me, folks.
I should know her birthday by heart by now.
I know, right? Me too.
I know Jill's because hers is the day after mine. We're both Leos. No, she's a Virgo. I'm a Leo. I'm right there at the 21st.
I know she's on here, but I don't see it.
Okay.
Oh, 3:30.
3:30.
Right. Sorry, Melissa, that I lost you somehow. And
Okay.
Gina said, thank you very much.
Oh, good.
She really appreciated that. And we have Veronica joining us tonight too. And Kavita. Hi, Kavita. We'll get to you in a moment. You and Veronica. Melissa Parks, the Joyful Findings show on Friday evening. She'll be tomorrow night at 8:00. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so this month, Melissa, is kind of like working on and make sure that you don't have any scattered energy because you have something to teach, but you've got to make it where it's real simple. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be real direct. There's also the first week. There's something that if there's a roadblock that you've had to face in the first week of August, which we're almost through, thank God, it's kind of like, okay, what did I learn from that experience? Because it's definitely something that you had to work through. And also, and it's really kind of interesting because in the third week, it's all about home, mom, work, and making it all balance out. There's something that at the end of the month, the last week, it probably has to do with some of your spiritual work, and it also has to do with you balancing out your emotions. So there may be something that comes up in your personal life that you got to just, okay, take a deep breath, sit down for a minute and say, okay, what's the best outcome here? What serves me better? What is the right solution? But I do feel that it's emotional, okay? So, and it's about also, too, of you establishing boundaries. So if you're being taken advantage of in that last week, you have to establish what your boundary is. So it might be with one of your kids or whatever, or somebody close to you. So I'm going to tell you, don't do the guilt thing or do ring around the rosy, I shouldn't say that or I shouldn't do. No, you got to be straightforward. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay. I got a couple more. I can't imagine Melissa holding back anyway. I just see she's Bubbles. We call her Bubbles, right? Is her
Yeah,
nickname?
but you know what? I'm talking about not holding back, maybe because when she does her work and she's but on an emotional level in her personal life, that's a different ball game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
We don't know that side, but yeah, I would see that. I could see that from her. I could see that from all of us. So a good lesson to all of us. We have Kavita. Thank you for joining us, Kavita. 411 from New York. Kavita's
How do you
from
spell
New York.
Kavita? Is that a K or a C?
Kavita.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I'm doing her year, so I'm doing it a couple different ways here. So let's see, 8 and 11, 2. Okay. All right. So Kavita, I think the most important thing is that, you're a sharp cookie and you're very strong, but you hold a lot of things inside. You can't be all things to all people. So, learn to be the good crossing guard of what you really want to do and what you don't want to do. And don't be afraid to stand up for yourself in that respect. But you always, try to help everybody. And that's good, but it's not good. Okay. As far as the month of August goes, the first week is probably you've had to deal with something where you had to take a stand or you couldn't be stubborn about it. And it has to do with a relationship. It's either a kid, a family, it's somebody within the family structure. Okay. And, but I do feel like the second week things ease up, a lot more levity, and that's really good. And then I have something going on in a work situation that there's a change or something that, or it's within the home because it represents home or work. So that'll be the third week. And the last week is decisions to be made, and you can't emotionally, you're going to have to do the pros and the cons. Okay. I think that's the most important thing I could say to you. The month of August is where you really need to find your source, and stand strong in your shoes. And it goes back to this card I found, I brought out tonight. No fear, faith. Okay. There you go, Kavita.
Super. Thank you so much. And then we have Veronica.
Veronica.
Yeah, I think she's our last one at 42568.
Okay, bear with me.
It's okay. I'm going to read some feedback. We had Gina loved her reading. She said, thank you. Ruth Saltman enjoyed her. She said, thank you very much. Gigi, I mentioned her. Jill Sheen said she's a Leo on the cusp of Virgo.
Right.
And let's see. Julie's a true Aries. And Kavita just said, thank you so much. And Gigi is a leap year, February 29th.
February.
I don't know if we did Gigi. We did Gina. I don't know if we did Gigi. So we do have one more after Veronica.
We didn't do Gigi. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'll let you go.
Okay. So here's the deal with we're doing Veronica, and so I want to get into the month of August for her. So we've got a 3, 9. Bear with me. So 8.
I'm losing you a little bit. Your voice is lower.
My voice is lower. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Talk right at the camera.
Okay.
That's better.
Well, I can't help it because I'm trying to compute here. So
no computing, just talk.
Okay. So Veronica, and I think I've told her this before because she's very deep. She feels things. A lot of people misjudge her because they see her as disorganized and everyth's in order, and she could take the helm
there it is
and fix things and all that kind of stuff. But as far as the month of August, it's all about balance and it's about emotional balance. So you got to keep your wits about you and not let anybody, you know, be your director. You're the
There we
director.
go.
You got it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I want to say that. And then the last week of August, don't dig your heels in. What else is possible? Or what's a better solution?
Mhm.
Don't, just get rigid about it, because in the third week you got decisions to make. And it's all going to be about weighing things out. So that's about not, using your good common sense, And I think that that's a really good thing for us to kind of all practice is common sense, and no fear. We got to work with faith. That's why this card I thought was perfect for tonight. And Spirit always works in wonderful ways. So, but anyway, Veronica, so there's decisions to make. Don't overreact emotionally or don't stuff it, one of the two. And use I statements. I've taught that over the times that I've been on Carolan's show. When you use I, there's no fight, but it also represents you correctly. So when that was said, I was not in agreement. When that happened, I was embarrassed. When that was said, I was disappointed. When you use I, there's no fight. If I do, you said this and you did that, you, we're going to fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
So, do we have anybody else?
I have Gigi.
And
she's a leap year baby.
Oh, well, that doesn't matter with numerology.
Okay. She's 229.
Right. Okay. Well, Gigi, you're in that cycle of 18 months. And it started probably, I want to say, September, October of last year. And you've got all the way to go to probably April of 2021. And it's a cycle that we all go through, but it's like, it's not an easy rodeo, but it gives you a cleansing or purging of people, places, and things. And it also gives you where you can work on yourself. Lessons learned, whether it comes to relationships, work situations, home, and all that kind of stuff. So for the month of August, it's all about either work or finance. Gigi didn't give her a year, did she?
No.
Okay. So it's all about your authority. It's all about your finances. It's all about work. There's something going on in the second week of August. Pay attention. Anything that has to do with putting your name to something or anything legal, contract. Also, this is another thing here. Don't speed, because you will get a ticket that second week of August, and you don't want to drink and drive. Okay. This whole month is take the blinders off your eyes and the cotton out of your ears, and start getting into the point of what else is possible. There's also something going on with a family or a relationship where decisions need to be made, and for you also to be in agreement of what's best for you. So don't worry about the word selfish. That needs to come out of the dictionary. Okay? To thy own self be true, Gigi.
Fabulous. We had, thank you so much. Linnell skated in.
Linnell.
I think you spoke recently. Thank you for your super sticker, Linnell. She is 8966. And Veronica says, thank you, makes sense. Appreciate the message, Joanne.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Peter said thank you as well. And let's see, I have some other feedback. Elizabeth had said her feedback for you is Yes, sensitive fixer says yes when wants to say no. Failing family member causes a lot of this guilt, but setting boundaries. Thank you so much, Joanne and Carolan.
Well, another thing too, guilt is a useless emotion. You can't let people drag you into guilt if you didn't do anything wrong. Okay? I always say this to my clients. Have you robbed a bank? Have you hit a little old lady over the head and took her purse? Have you killed anybody? No, the answer is no, no, no. You have to do something wrong in order to feel guilty. Unfortunately, society makes, especially if you got the fixer mentality or you're super sensitive, you can feel like, oh my God, I have to do something. No, you don't. You can choose to do something. I always give the lesson, there are no have-tos in life. You don't have to put gas in your car. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You don't have to go to work, and you don't have to pay your taxes. Those are all choices. I choose to put gas in my car to get from point A to point B. I choose to go to the grocery store so I can have nurturing, wonderful food. Okay. I choose to pay my taxes because I don't want a penalty. All choices. We have to get out of this have-to mentality. Okay. And remember, we're all God's children. So we're here to learn and grow. That's the beautiful part about numerology when you're registered to heaven. We all have lessons to learn. There's always a message. There's always something for us to kind of tweak ourselves. I love that. Wouldn't it be a boring world if we were all the same? Oh, gosh.
That's a really good message, Joanne. I'll take that for myself because sometimes I get overwhelmed and I get a little down because as much as I get accomplished around here, there's always something that I need done. And I'm like, oh, I have to get to that. I have to get to that. Well, right now I'm choosing to do this. So I can say to myself, I'm choosing this. I will get to that. But right now, so thank you for saying that. That really helps tremendously.
Good. I'm glad.
Back to Linnell.
Back to Linnell. Okay. So for this month, it's all about lightening up a little bit. I know that you've got, and I guess the biggest thing I want to say to you is don't let anybody get you in scattered energy because your voice needs to be very strong this month. Okay. And it has to do with work or putting order into things. So don't be afraid to find that inner voice. And like I said, there's no have-tos, there's choices. And we always have to remember that we also need to be our own best friend. They do not teach you that in school. What they teach you in school, be nice, share your pencils, sacrifice yourself, be nice, but they don't teach you how to love yourself and they don't teach you how to represent yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So my job is to tell you that you need to reclaim your power and you need to learn to love yourself and forgive yourself and accept yourself. We're not here to be perfect. And in over 35 years, close to 40, I haven't met a happy perfectionist yet. So I hope that helps some of the people out there. There's definitely something legal or a legal paper or something that has to do with legalities. The second week of August, pay attention, exercise your authority. Somebody's going to try to force you or put authority on you the third week or something where you have to dig your heels in. Do not compromise.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more balance to the last part of it of when you take and say good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. You have to get out of the negativity or being put into a square where everybody else has their opinion and you're in the middle. No. Nope. So you got to speak up for yourself. It's very important this month. Okay. Somebody's going to try to fight. So the fourth week, somebody's going to try to, stir up trouble. You just stay calm and stay balanced. And, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, I believe that sounds about right because I know she's Linnell's in transit and just starting anew. And I think that's very, Very telling. Thank you, Joanne. That's a great message. Thank you, Linnell, for joining us tonight. Veronica says, Carolan, thanks for the show and your service. Elizabeth says, love the validation to choose what I need to do. We all need, if as soon as you say you have to do something, you're done, right?
Oh, there are no have tos. In fact, when I used to be, I used to do motivational speaking, and I'm a life coach too. And I think the biggest thing is what you perceive is what you believe, whether it's true or whether it's not true. So that's where we get into quagmires in our life. We perceive something. Well, is that really the truth?
Right.
Your belief structure is, that's why I always tell people, okay, we got a dilemma here. Let's pull out a piece of paper and do the pros and the cons and get our heads straightened out here. Because if we're sensitive people, we're going to make emotional decisions and not rational decisions.
Right. Right. You have to leave the emotion out of it, and we don't.
Well, good for me, not good for me. Healthy for me, not healthy for me.
Right.
I know. I draw the line because they don't teach you that in school. And I go through that consistently with my clients.
Right. They don't teach you that in families.
No.
Either. So you don't learn it. And here you are, middle age and beyond.
And
finally learning. Isn't that the truth? Gigi added her birth year, which is 84.
Oh,
I don't know if that makes a difference.
Well, no, it does. What's good about that is that it's a master number, so that's going to help her in life as well too. But she's going through the cycle now where she really needs to review. It's kind of like when I tell people they're going through this year to 18-month cycle. It's like going up into an attic that you have stored people, places, things, events, situations, all in this attic. And it's kind of like you have to go through your life for the last 9 years. Good for me, not good for me. These are the keepers. This is something I'm going to think about, and this is in the trash. And that's how you get rejuvenated. Lessons learned. And that's how. It's not always an easy cycle. It's not an easy cycle to be in, but it's a very telling cycle. So that a lot of times, if it's an ending or if it's a clearing or whatever, and it's painful, okay, let's embrace that. Let's learn from it. Let's move on.
Linnell is sharing spot on. She said, got it. Thank you very much. Thank you. And she said, the light bulb gets really bright. So I think she means it's turned on.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very good feedback. What an awesome show tonight. My reading was right on. You two make a great team. Let's see. Thank you all for your super stickers. Linnell, that was beautiful. Thank you. And Julie, thank you. And Jill, thank you. And Ruth Saltman, thank you for joining us. She said, thanks, Joanne. She's working on a master class for this month.
Beautiful. That's exactly with her numbers. That's great.
Yep. And Julie said that her mom was Carolan and her stepmom was Joanne. She just realized that.
Oh, my gosh. No coincidences. No coincidences.
Yeah. And Julie said, here I was trying to give these to Jill, I think, these people. But she said, Julie said, the man in the military was my uncle. And I was just talking about his passing about 2 hours ago. I was driving when I felt his presence. I guess he passed 25 years ago, and he was also bald. So,
well, I'm gonna crack you up, Carolan. I just thought about this. My mother was gonna name me Carolan, and her name, my mother's name is Josephine. So my father, who was enamored with my mother, he said, well, let's name her Joanne. But I was going to be Carolan. That was her first choice.
Isn't that crazy? Divided by 6 degrees of separation, I think we all say. Thank you. We're at the hour. Do you believe it? That was a really good hour. We got just about everybody in, I believe. If I did miss anybody, my apologies. Join us next week. And next week, I believe I have I should know this. Let me see who I have. I think it's Carl Petrie, who is an author and has a new book. So I hope you will join us for that. Wonderful, Joanne, Psychic Joanne Leo. Yes, and next week, Carl Petrie, author. He's got a brand new book out. He's been on the show, and his wife. And we're going to talk to her. What's it like being married to a psychic?
Wow.
You want to hear about that. We'll have to interview Frank someday. Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Joanne. Good night now.
Good night.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments. Then head over to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With the huge selection of shows, the fun doesn't have to end.